For any historical event, you can have a different interpretation, but the historical event cannot be forgotten or ignored.
Very few people in China know what happened today.
If you do type in Tiananmen on the Google search engine in China, you get pictures of Tiananmen, like just the actual door, Tiananmen, and the actual building. There's no mention of any massacre, there's no mention of anything.
The Communist Party has succeeded to completely eradicate any kind of information from textbook, from history book, from even the public discourse, if you will.
The book was commissioned for the 24th anniversary of the Tiananmen Square crackdown and is produced both in Mandarin as well as English.
The event took place in the spring of 1989 and was triggered by the death of a former party secretary, Hu Yaobang. Right after his death, many university students and also people in Beijing started the kind of a campaign to commemorate or to remember Hu's death.
But then it began to take on other issues. The main issue, I would say, was corruption in the government. There was a suspicion or even some knowledge that top-level officials' sons and daughters were benefiting from a market that was part private and part state-controlled. So this was a rallying cry, was down with corruption. I was the Beijing bureau chief of the Washington Post.
I was a co-anchor for China's CCTV English service. I had an opportunity to cover the student demonstration at least once during the month of May. That's the time that we enjoyed a very brief period of press freedom. I remember that we grabbed a camera and I just went to the square and shooting, the students, hunger strikers, and all the demonstrations, and prepared a report.
The iBook is a collection bringing together of different formats in one product, and that's what's so cool about it, is that there is text to read, there is photography that is unique, some of it is in color, and pretty stunning, as a matter of fact, and some of it is in black and white because it's historical material. There is video, there is timeline of events that you can scroll and play around. You can open up pictures or close them down. And in the Chinese version, there is also audio files of recordings of witnesses who are telling us their own story.
After we gathered materials, we kind of laid them out all on a table, and we decided how we were going to basically tell this story.
A lot of the stories came from the Mandarin service, where they had eyewitness accounts, and they interviewed people, mothers, like wives and husbands who lost husbands and loved ones in the June 4th shootout. The main text from the book was written by our executive editor, Dan Southerland.
I wrote as many as 1,000 words per chapter, per phase, starting with the mid-April and then ending up with the aftermath. And I think my wife was probably the main photographer. She's got at least 25 pictures in there and 5 or 6 videos.
I have 2 favorite parts for this iBook. My first favorite part is the timeline, because it's just such a visual representation of what happened. You can click on these little buttons and it actually shows you what happened on that date. And it's all in chronological order. So it's really cool. It gives you a very clear idea of what's going on.
Commissioned special diagrams, a diagram of Tiananmen Square, so that you really got a sense of place in the book.
Everything is very, very nice about these ebooks. I mean, it's just so sleek and modern and cool. The graphic of it is just really so pleasant, but I have to say that I am very taken by the video.
I still love watching the videos. It can bring back my memories of the event that I consider myself participated in.
think we're starting to see now in China a group of people who tend to be more educated, more well-off, urban dwellers, who are willing to question what is being served to them in terms of information. And these are the people that we address in priority, because we know that these people talk to their peers and their family, and they're very thirsty for information that is not the official party line.
We were hoping to reach younger people who don't know the history, don't know the story, only have the vaguest idea that maybe something terrible happened or maybe there was some turmoil.
The beauty of the ebook is that it cannot be filtered, because once somebody downloads it, they can share it with their friends. All these new tools, circumvention tools that are available now to Chinese people, they can use that to share the content among each other. While the Chinese authority know very well how to block our website, they know our IP address, they use filters on keywords, they don't quite know yet how to stop people sharing content.
If this is successful, hopefully we can develop more. So we can use this template to develop iBooks for other things. You know, this is the Tiananmen Square thing. Maybe we can do one for the Tibetan immolation. We can do one for the Burma elections. With all the coverage that we can have iBooks and mobile formats for all of them. I'm
really hoping, actually, that beyond downloading the book and sharing it with their friend, I'm really hoping that they talk about it among themselves. This is what the mission of RFA is, to inform and fill that gap of information to the Chinese people, tell them as fairly and honestly as possible what the truth about their country is.